easier to play the piano than to walk. Is it working?
Yes.
Is it working?
Yeah.
When they asked me today, or yesterday, if I want a microphone, I thought, well, I have to think if the microphone will make my accent better or worse. So I figured, well, I can't do anything, so I take back the microphone. I want to tell you that I'm very happy being here today. I'm in the mood for Paris, really. Too old for that, but I feel like I would like to have a great time. And this is what this concert is all about. This is no normal concert by any means. I think that each person who is worth anything tries to leave a legacy for the people to come and people who were related to them. My legacy I want to leave is that yes, you can, yes, try, whatever you want to do, try. Don't go to the grave thinking, oh my gosh, maybe if I try it. I've seen that many times, and it's very sad to see that. So all my students know me well enough. I'm looking at one now who's been with me for about 14 years, and he's looking at me like, why are you saying? You heard me say that a million times. I was born with, yes I can, and if the other person can do it, so can I. And my mother will hear of anything else but that. If it was something and I like it and I want to do it, nothing to do with music, whatever. And I will say this to her, she says, well, if that person can do it, so can you. Last weekend, when I stopped finally teaching 20 hours a week, I was nervous, because I'm not practicing. And my daughter, my husband, and I were watching Billy Crystal, whom I like a lot, in the 700 Sundays. At a certain point, like halfway, I say to her, do you realize the amount of energy and memory? And he doesn't stop for a second. It's a constant, it's fantastic, the man is fantastic. 2 hours to do that. And I go to my phone where I inquire about everything, and I look at his age, and he's not much younger than I. So I say, well, if he can, so can I. And he didn't have 16 operations, so he's a little ahead of me, but anyhow. What I want to say is that I have done that all my life, at least 2 or 3 times a year for the past 30 years at least. I get an email or a note or something from one of my former students who is now married, have children, most of them are musicians, professors at universities, United States and Canada, who write to me very much the same with different words. I was doing what I'm doing, and I make good money, and support my wife and my children. But something else came up that I really, really would love to do. But that meant that I have to give up what I have, secure, and try. And again, I have a wife and children to support. So I was thinking and thinking and thinking, and of course everybody was saying, no, don't leave what you have. And I thought of you, and I said, what would she have to tell me? You would have to tell me, go and do what you want to do. And you know something? I did it, and I succeeded, and I'm so grateful to God for having put you in my life. And that to me, as a teacher, as a human being, is the biggest reward of all what that you can have. Before I go ahead, because my brain works like 2 minutes an hour, and then after that stops. I want to say thank you to a lot of people who are here, but I can't name you all. I want to say thank you to Dr. Helmut Fuchs, who sponsored most of the concert. And I want to say a special thank you to Susanna Walton and to the Shakalon family, who have been working practically non-stop, trying to make this concert happen. They did so much for me that that's the reason why I am here. And thank you, God bless you, all of you. I can't find Mr. Shakalon. Oh, there you are. Thank you. Okay, I just want to tell you first story, which is the first time I really used Yes I Can. I was at Paris Conservatory, and at that time, every 2 or 3 months, they will give the whole school, didn't matter how long you be there, how old you were, they will give one piece that the whole school has to play 30 days later. And you will pass, by the rooms, and you will hear the piece over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And this one time, I was 13. It was the third ballade by Chopin. And Germaine Pinot, who was my teacher, I was her only student, she suffered from heart. She will come to my house every day for 5 hours. I live on the 6th floor in Paris with no elevator. So my mother will bring down a chair, so she will do one floor, one flight, sit there for 20 minutes, go another one. So this way I will not waste time going to her house. Anyway, because my last name Trenchy, I was the last of the 150 people playing the ballade on the third day. And when I walked to the piano, there were 12 old, oh my gosh, they look old to me at the time. I guess they were in the 50s or something, but to me they were like 200. And they don't say a word, they don't make eye contact, they don't say a word, before or after or never. They didn't have a bench that you could go up and down, but they had 4 or 5 different stools, with different height. When I sat to try the first one, it was just fine. But I need time because I was so scared that I tried the 5 of them. So that time I, got some time. And obviously I went back to the first one because that was fun. Anyway, I started playing the ballade, and it was really no good. It was so no good that getting to the end of the first page, I thought, I get up and I leave. They will love me for that. They don't have to hear 150 times the same piece. They probably give me a good grade just because I didn't play. And as I was getting to the end of the page, I thought of my mother who has left her house to be with me in Paris for 5 years. I thought for the money my father was, I saw that all what Germaine Pinot did for me, never for a cent. She never wanted money, she did it. She gave me 5 hours lessons, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for nothing. And I thought for of them like this quickly, and I said, I can't just give up, and leave them. So there is a rest at the end of the first page, and I did see, and I'm gonna play. Oh my gosh, did I play? I played so well. I was amazed. I was seeing myself playing and saying, oh my gosh, what's going on with me? Who took over me? This is going to be playing. It was fantastic. Anyway, I was the last. I left. They don't say a word. And we wait like 2 hours or 3 hours it takes for them to put in the order of the people who get things. And the whole of the Paris Conservatory, now they moved, but at that time it's huge, twice this place. And it was completely filled with the students, the parents, the teachers, the grandparents, everybody. And after so much, the man with the names comes out with a list. And it so happened that he stood right in front of me. He was there and I was here. And I was looking at him thinking, maybe if I get lucky, I will be 9 or 10 or something, if I get really lucky, I don't know. And he starts, the first prize goes to Anne-Marie Tronchi. And the second prize goes to, and the third prize goes to. And suddenly I say, what did he say? Did he say my name? And I turned around, Pinot was here. I turn around and I look up, and she has a smile because she realized that I didn't realize because I wasn't expecting my name for hours. And she weighed only 100 pounds. And I picked her up, poor woman. But this happened because at that point, I remember all what they did for me and that, yes, I can. If I kill myself, I can at least play the ending of the piece decently. I look like I did because I get the first prize of the whole conservatory. And that's things that happen, and I want to share with you. My whole entire life, I went to, from the age of 3 to 13, I went, here there's a few people from Argentina, to the Theater Colón. My father, who was very wealthy, will buy all the tickets, not the tickets, one of the most expensive
Boxing.
Yeah, the 6 tickets there for everything that happened all year long. Ballet, opera, whatever, pianist. So I heard everybody over and over and over again. And the one thing that really didn't like was that I never got a feeling for the person. I will see Rubinstein, walking, boom, 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 sit down, playing. How is he as a person? I will see Kempf coming and playing, boom, 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 sit down. And I never got the feeling from anyone. So some years ago, not in big halls, but in the small situations like this, I like to talk. So if you have any doubt that I am crazy, yes, I am. All right, and the reason why we do this also is because I can't stand sitting too long. I'm in too much pain. So this way, you get to know me a little more, and I give a little bit of peace to my back. Thank you. I have actually been 15 live, no one. And I have 200 stories. So, my first teacher in the United States. We came to live in this country, and I was teaching in Tokyo for 3 years, and on the way back to Argentina for the summer. Not because I miss Argentina, or my parents, or anyone, but I miss my dog. So I always say that I was dog sick. So one night during the summer, I called my mother from Tokyo, and I said, I'm going to go for the 2 months to, because I miss King too much. She wasn't very happy. But again, when was she happy with me? So anyway, I wanted so badly all my life to live in the United States. And another teacher there from the United States in an exchange program, Kunitich University we were, said to me, I know the dean of Washington University in St. Louis. Let me write to him that you're going to pass. Maybe you can make a stop, audition, and maybe they take you and you can come back to the United States. Well, I already have first prize from the Paris Conservatory, bachelor, master, and PhD from Argentina, but to get my feet here, I need another degree. So he spoke to the dean, and I changed my plane and made a stop of 2 days in St. Louis, Missouri, and I went to Argentina. It went very well. I got full scholarship, teaching assistant, teaching assistantship, and $4,000 a semester as a grant. So that was wonderful. I wrote to the dean in Tokyo and I said I wasn't going back. Because really wanted. I went to Argentina, and in September, when the classes started, I flew to St. Louis, Missouri. Well, I was told who my teacher will be. I still hate him as much today as I did. Here is the only teacher who I haven't hated, Martin Hanning. The rest of them, I didn't even have a good introduction with you either. I'm going to talk about that. Anyway, I was told that Mr. It was Ballemore or something, he was one of the exchange teachers, he was from Germany, was taking over the class or whatever. The day of my lesson, I walk into his studio, I look at him, oh my gosh, I didn't like him. He looked at me, oh my gosh, he didn't like me. It was first sight hate. No, it wasn't first sight love. It was like, he didn't like me, period. I didn't like him, period. That was it. And it was going to be like this for the rest of the year. So we had really bad lessons because he talked to me very badly all the time. And I say that I'm a very good friend, but a very, very bad enemy. So forgetting the respect I should have because he was my teacher, I answered back him every time. As nice as I could, but I never kept my mouth shut. He came with a young man from England, which, believe it or not, at my age, I was too naive to understand a lot of things. It took me another 10 years to realize why he brought that boy. Anyhow, he was a very good pianist, and he, was doing the course too. And they have several competitions in St. Louis, around St. Louis. And every time there was one, that boy entered and I will enter. And I will win every time. So the relationship with my teacher got worse, because he wanted the boy to be win, not me. So toward the end of the year, about May, June, the ending of May, it was the biggest competition they have at the time in St. Louis, Missouri. With good money, and the winner will play the following year in a series of concerts. So I asked for an application, fill up the application, and to Mr. Ballemore, because the teacher has to sign. And he looked at it, he says, oh no, you're not ready to play. I'm not ready to play, I can play 100 pieces, 1,000 pieces, and I can play 3 pieces. He says, no, I will not sign. And I knew right there, because he wanted the other one to win. So I said, okay. And I don't take no too well. I'm Latin. I took another application, made up a name. I always tell my students, don't do that to me. Make up a name of a man, sign for him, and of course I was in the competition. But I never told anything, Mr. Van Moy. The competition, you have to have like 7 pieces, and the jury will ask you play this, play that. It was in a big hall in downtown San Luis, in a big auditorium. And they were like 7 judges, all. I was still young, so they were all for me. And sitting, they were the only people in the hall. Now, I was 8 months pregnant, and when my son was born, he was 11.3. And will you please stand up, and don't kill me? Stand up for a second. This is. So I was rather big, to say the least. I was like this. So I was playing the piano. I play 4 pieces or something. I play well, nothing spectacular, but I play well. So they say thank you, and I get up and I start leaving. And one of the pieces I had put in the program was Malambo de Ginastera, which I played since I'm 8. I now don't remember anymore, but I used to know it. So as I'm walking, I hear the word Ginastera from the, and now they're going to ask me to play Ginastera. So I said, well, excuse me, could you come back and play the piece by Ginastera? And he said, sure. So I came back and I started playing the malambo. At least the pianist Miriam Continder plays the malambo very, very well. So, I play the first 1.5 pages, introduction, and then we start the malambo. Now, from there to the end, there is no one rest. I mean, like the 2 hands rest. And I start playing, oh my God, I can't even stand still. I start playing, and because the piece gets, the piano start moving. It was a huge stage. Start moving there. And I'm playing further and further and further and further. And once in a very while I will do it and catch a little bit the bench. And so the piano, my son, and I were moving, and I was playing. It was, I'm so sorry nobody videotaped that. I have something to put in YouTube. He was constantly, trying to do as many measures and trying to figure out where I was going to jump again and double jump again. Anyway, at the end of the malambo, the last chord, the entire piano, except for the keyboard, my son and I were the only 3 things on stage. The whole piano went backstage. We did the whole half of the thing. It was very much bigger than this stage. So we went like from here to there. And my son was kicking me, like saying, stop it. Well, when I finished and I looked at the judges, I couldn't see faces by legs. They were laughing their head off. They never seen anything like this in their life. They were laughing. So I figured I won. I mean, if anybody could do that. And so I won the competition. And the next day, I go to my lesson. And I say, hi, I'm Mr. Palmon. And he's, why did you enter the competition? Didn't I tell you that you should enter the competition? I say, yeah. And you also told me that I wasn't prepared. Obviously, you misjudged me. Well, his revenge was very poor, meaning you can be more of a gentleman. He gave me an incomplete. So I have to ask for a special jury to get my second master degree. But that was the reason he wrote me incomplete. And I finished now because I talk later. That was my first, when I met him, a teacher for the first time in the United States. Second time was Mr. Canning. I applied and played in their house. They were listening to the auditions there. And he was very nice, he's always very gentleman. That was February. It was February 13, 1970. And the classes started September. So he didn't see me anymore, I didn't see him anymore. And so we moved to Stony Brook because he was teaching in Stony Brook, and that's where I made it to. Again, with teaching assistant and the first day, all the students were supposed to go to his studio at a certain time to schedule. He wanted, to schedule each student. So he's scheduling everyone, but he didn't schedule me. And then looks at me with his face like, "Who the hell are you?" His face was so disgusting. Like, really, what are you here? I was so scared. Oh, yes. That was my second, and I want to get a third master degree because I want to have a master degree from New York. I didn't think that from St. Louis was enough. So our first encounter, the second rather, wasn't very nice. You weren't too happy to see me. Anyway, going back to play, and I tell more about my wonderful life later, which was a wonderful life. mistake. One second. Some of them playing the piano, they kind of, hit the piano, and they don't ever do that again. The piano did not make a mistake. I'm trying to say now, the mistakes I made it. But you have no idea what it's like to play with this. Try to move to reach and you don't reach because you're impressed. So anyhow, and the circumstances was quite good. How many medical doctors are here? Why? Okay, because...
Speak at the mic.
What?
Go to the mic.
Oh. I told you today I was in a very good mood. So, I just found outside Dr. Fuchs, which is the next piece, and I told him I wasn't going to play the piece. So I thought he was going to have something like a heart attack. I think he believed me. Okay. I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses. please stop. Uh, when I see children running in the streets, I think they have no idea how lucky they are. Anyway, this is a stupid story, but I have so many stupid stories. I was in a tour of concerts done by the French embassy. They sent me to different countries, and I always play in the embassy. It was very, very nice, very well done. I was going from Miami to Haiti. This time was in the embassy in Haiti. And I have to make a change of planes. I don't remember which island. I was 21, like 3,000 years ago, so I don't remember. The thing is that I came down in that island. The whole plane was the big shumbas of the time. And I didn't know one word of English. I only knew Italian, French, Spanish, and Portuguese, but no English. And it was in a small airport, in one small island. And it was like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And I have to take that flight from there to Haiti. I was walking, suddenly they called, to board the plane. But I thought that plane was going to Miami. And everybody there was going to Miami. So I stayed on the second floor all by myself, walking around, trying to kill the time, like we say in Spanish. Suddenly, it was so silent in the airport. And I got downstairs, and it was almost no one. Just the people behind the desk. And I said in French, this is my plane, this is my plane. They have already closed the doors, and they have started going. I mean, still, just running. And I went crazy, So the men called, whatever, the plane was going around, so they brought the plane back. I took all my things, which at that time, beside my luggage, I used to carry 3 beautiful long gowns for the concerts, and I had a pile of music with me. This is always done with me. Plus my pocketbook, like the small thing we used to, many years ago, to have, I don't remember the name. I mean, I was in high heels, and the whole story. So the plane gets there. I see everybody from the windows looking down, what's going on here, So they open the door, they bring the stairs, because at that time, you went up the stairs. Going up, my gowns start falling on the stairs, and the music, so the stewards, they were trying to help me to go up. It was such a mess. Because when I do it big. Like my father used to say, if you're going to lie big. Finally, I get up there, and everybody called, Flynn is looking at me, who is she, So they helped me, the steward, community, whatever they call it. They all helped me. And I was 21, 22. Blonde, because I was born blonde. At that time in life, people flew very well dressed. Not like nowadays, or whatever. So I was very, very, very well dressed, very beautiful, my hair done, my makeup. So all the men in the plane were really happy seeing me, So all girls and the wife was like, it was a cold. Anyhow, finally they seat me. And they put these things there and take my gowns to where they were hanging. And I go, But slowly they close the door, and again the plane starts going up. And again, I don't understand anything, and they're talking in English. But I heard the word Miami. I said, wait a second. I just came from Miami. What is going on now? So I called the steward who is not supposed to be walking out, she came and she knew French. I said, where are we going? To Miami. But I'm going to Haiti. I'm not going to Cheshire. I just came from Miami. So the two stewards ran to the front of the plane to tell the pilot to stop not to take off because we want. So they have to bring around again to the place where you're going to the plane. And have to help me to bring down everything and the thing and that. And not the men, but the women's were. Well, the plane took off 40 minutes delay because of me. So it was funny. I mean, everybody must. I know a lot of people remember that beautiful girl, who put the whole plane in it. I thought it was a funny, one of my many stories. Thank you. My next and last story is my favorite one, so I'm going to play very fast now. students that during the lesson, their brain is having a wonderful vacation in the Bahamas. The body is here, but the brain is in the Bahamas. And tonight, my brain, every so often, takes a short trip. Anyway, I'm here. This is the last to the last, the one before the last, the two stories I wanted to tell, they both very important to me. Julia, I didn't get a good welcome from St. Louis, I didn't get a good welcome from Stony Brook. I was teaching at university, and I realized I was making like $40,000 less than the other teachers. And I don't like that. So I went to see the dean. And I said, can you explain me why do I make so much less? I am the only one in the faculty who has a PhD in piano, and I'm the only one making less. He said, well, yeah. But your PhD is not from this country. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna go and get you one from Julia. And for 3 years, I tried to get an application. If, I was 39, and Julia didn't want anyone over the age of 26, I think they told me, to try to enter the program. So the first time I went, the woman there, very nice woman, looked at me and says, how old are you? I said 39. She said, oh, no, you can't. There's no way. You have to be 26. I was 26 at one time, but that's 26 now. So she said, no way. I said, well, but I had this accident, I couldn't play for 13 years. She said, yeah, but you're still 39. Okay, I left. But as I said before, I don't take no very easily. The year later, I go back. The woman sees me and remembers me. She said, weren't you here last year? And I said, yeah. She said, do you know that you haven't got any younger? Yeah, I know. No, that time I was 38, well, I don't know, I was 39 when I got in, so maybe I was 37, 38. Again, I tried, could you please ask? No, wait, please don't come anymore, because the answer is going to be always the same. A year later, I was in one of the things I do in radios where I talk. And when we were about to finish the program, the person who was interviewing me said, we have 20 seconds, if you want to say something before we close. I said, well, if only one person of everybody who has been listening to me will go and try to do what he or she really wants to do, and because he's afraid doesn't do, it will have meant a lot for me to come all the way here. And I left. And I was going down the elevator and I said, you stupid, you tell everyone else to do it, why don't you make it into Julia? What's the matter with you? So I start inquiring. I look at the booklet they send you, of course, there's no place where they say they don't take people over 26. I look at everything, and I could sue Julia, but you don't do that stupid things because they'll probably never play again here. So I went again, and the woman looked at me and she said, my gosh, you have a problem with comprehension. I told you, you are too old. Now you are 2 years older than the first time you came. And I said, yeah, you're right. But you know what happened? I'm a person who needs to understand things. I took the book of Julia, I went back and forward the whole book, and I couldn't find any place where it says that you don't take anyone over the age of 26. Oh no, she said, no. And I said, why is that? I like to play stupid, When you're from another country, it's so easy to play stupid. And the ones here from other countries know that, I don't understand. My country is not like this. So he said, oh no, we can't do that. No? Oh, Oh, because that's against the law of the United States, right? You can't do that. You know, I had that prepared. I acted stupid, but I had that very well prepared. That's what you don't put it, because you are not allowed to do that. You do it under, but nobody can say that you. She became white, green, blue. She said, let me talk to my superiors. That was January, and the auditions were on May. I heard from her maybe in March, but this time I have given up the whole thing. And in March, I got a letter and I got the application. So I fill up the application, and I start, trying to get prepared. And I got a letter on a Wednesday that my audition will be the following Thursday, that's 9 days later, at 7:45 in the evening. Now they gave me 1 week notice. I had a girl who was 3 years old. I was teaching. I think I practiced 24 hours a day while I was teaching and everything. And as Mr. Canning knows very well here, I played. I was the only time in my life that my teeth were going, and my knees were going like this when I was playing. Never have had that feeling before. Anyway, it looks like I got a good grade, but they wouldn't take me because I was too old. So Mr. Canning will call me every Monday night when Joseph Rafe, if I'm not wrong, who was the committee to accept or not the doctoral candidates, and they were friends, will call Mr. Canning and tell him that they haven't made a decision. So another week went on, Mr. Canning called me again, and I think there were 3 or 4 hours taking Valium to sleep. I was a mess. So on the 4th week, he called me and he says, congratulations, you are a doctoral candidate. They accepted you. And at that point, he gave me the idea, you have to do 3 recitals for the degree. So he gave me the idea to go and talk to the dean and ask him if he will allow the next, that was in Carnegie Hall a few months later, to be one of the concerts. So I was walking on cloud 9. I was so happy, and made an appointment to go to see the dean. I walked into his office. He stood up. He didn't say hello, good morning, hi, nothing. Sit down, nothing. He stood on this side of the desk, and I stood up on the other side of the desk. For about 45 minutes, he was, I will say, screaming at me, just in the desk. How angry he was that I was in school, how upset he was, and how he did everything possibly so I will not make it, and I will be so sorry because I will be sitting next to people who could be my children, and I wasn't going to do well, and blah, 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 blah. He never let me say a word. Not that I won't answer. Anyway, when he finally shut up, I said, Dr. Waldrop, I'm really, really sorry. One of the dreams of my life was to get a degree from Juilliard. I promise you that you will never have any complaint, anything that you have to be sorry that I made it. And I left. Oh no, and as I was leaving, he says, oh, by the way, you have 7 years to get the degree, but you never make it. You tell me that? I wouldn't play around with that. Anyway, I went outside, and my husband and the secretary were there with the eyes like this. They couldn't hear what was going on, but they could hear there was something bad. So what happened, what happened, what happened? And I said, well, he hates me. And so I said to the secretary, he told me that 7 years is the maximum you can, to get a degree. Which one is the minimum? And she says 2, but nobody makes it 2. Oh. So we went home. Oh, and I said, when is graduation? And she said, the last Friday in May. So I went home, right to the calendar, to look, to see when was going to be the last Friday in May, 2 years later. And it was going to be May 29, which happens to be my birthday. And I said, that would be so nice if I give myself a present. You know, on my birthday, I get a doctoral degree from Juilliard. Well, to tell you that I didn't die that 2 years, I was teaching, I was full-time in Juilliard. I was teaching in New Jersey at university. By the way, when I got a degree, they raised me $500, what they were paying me, and I quit. It was 24 hours a day. I have to write the thesis, I have to do, very dear friend, some of you remember her, I'm sure Mr. and Mrs. Kane remember, Henriette Rose. She will come to my house and typewrite for me what I was writing for the thesis to help me because I didn't have the time. And, you know, 2 years later, I was sitting there with everybody waiting for the degree, and the faculty was on stage of Aristotle Hall, and the students were sitting, plus the parents. Actually, one person sitting next to my son asked him if his sister, his brother was getting a degree, and he said, no, my mother. Anyhow, he had to call me, you know, for me to go up, and I really look at him with my nice eyes when I'm angry, you know, I said, you have to call me 2 years later. And so was it, and I never saw him again, I never. At the end of the story, which is the funny part, I never saw him again, ever. And I think I want to see him. 2-3 years later, I go to a concert with Henriette Rose, and we were both invited to the reception that was taking place in the apartment of the manager, of this pianist. I don't remember his name, he was very famous from England, very old. We walk into the apartment, there was maybe 30 people, and who do I see right away? Oh my gosh, he's here. He's here. So he was going there, so I was going there. He was going there, I was going here. I mean, I was constantly, all the time, trying to avoid him, you know. Anyway, he got to a point in which I have to leave, so I go to the bathroom. I come out of the bathroom, I open the door, and who do you think is there waiting to get into the bathroom? Dr. Waldrop. Yeah, I just, you know. And I said, hi, Dr. Waldrop, I don't expect you to remember me. Oh, yes, you are an American Chico. That's it. How can I remember you? We are so proud of you, of all the things you've been doing. You are so wonderful, of course, and you blah, 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 blah. You know, I come from Argentina, where everybody lies, so don't lie to me, okay? Anyhow, we were, you know, spoke for 5 minutes. And then he said, I think you're about to give a recital in Carnegie Hall. I said, yes. So he said, will you please send me 2 tickets? I said, sure, I will be very happy to do it. So I put 2 tickets, you know, it's his name, and I wrote, dear Dr. Waldrop, here. So he wrote back to me, saying, thank you for the tickets, and please don't call me anymore Dr. Waldrop. Now we are colleagues. That's my story with Julia. I'm very happy. I didn't play as well as I could have if I didn't do anything but practice that I teach. Anyhow, what it meant to me is that after 3 years of not being able really to do anything with my back, thanks to Dr. Racklin, whom I adore, I keep on telling him that if Mrs. Racklin, I don't know if you know, but I keep on telling him that if I were 15 years younger, I would be after him. Because it was like it never gonna happen because I couldn't play more than one piece or two. I am exhausted now, I'm very tired and a lot of pain. But all what I want to do with this is to show my students, the ones who are here, former students, that, and again, has nothing to do with music. If you want to do something in your life that you really want to do, keep it at that. Don't give up. Don't give up. And today, I was able to play again, and that means a lot to me. I promise no more than 5 minutes, but this is very important to me. How many people here knew my mother? You knew her? You knew my mother? Yeah. Right, so, right, you, my children. If I were going to be born again and will be allowed to choose my mother, I will choose her again. But you don't have a clue what it was like to live with her. It was worse than to live with Jenner. Do this, don't do that. Why are you doing this? I don't recall, in all the years that I lived with her, ever telling me, will you please, thank you, I love you. Those are words that never came out of her mouth. Do this, don't do that. You didn't play well. Everything was bad. And in any case, many years ago, I was going to do the 100 Pieces concert in Neville Fisher Hall, and sure enough, she has to be here. And one day, I was talking to one of my students at the lesson, a woman in the 30s, very fine pianist, that I was so worried because we were living in Stony Brook at the time, and it's like 30-something miles to the city. And I said to her, she's going to be the whole time, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and be careful, and like, you know. In the 39 years I lived with her, I never once answered back to her. Well, I'm very proud of myself. I don't think I will do the same now, but anyway. This woman said to me, look, I have an idea. I come with my husband, the concert was at 2 o'clock in Neville Fisher Hall. I come at 11 o'clock with my husband, we pick her up, take her to a nice restaurant in the city, and I give you my word that she will not, we will walk into the hall 2 minutes before you start. She never had a chance to go backstage. I said, will you do that for me? My gosh, I owe you for life. And I thought my mother would not accept. She was very happy. Anyway, the day of the concert arrived. It was February 29, and it was snowy. It was a cold day. This lady comes with her husband, and so I tell my mother to go. I am helping her to put into her fur coat. Remember, I was practicing 100 pieces at a time. And as she's putting on her coat, she looks at me and she says, don't you dare to play the music box. How did you come out with music box? I'm practicing 100 pieces. I haven't played music box in at least 3 years. Don't you dare to do that. Okay, I don't even know if I know how the piece starts. Anyhow, she left. And I gave the concert, it went very well, and I came out to do an encore. In Paris, I was taught by Yves Nat, my teacher at conservatory, that when you take a bow, you always look at the head of the last row, because this way you will never see that one person that you were hoping that will not be there, because chances are that you're going to see that one person. So that way you don't see anyone, everybody thinks that you are, looking at them, but you don't. Anyhow, I never know which encore I'm going to do, because I think whatever I feel like playing at that moment. I never prepare an encore. And I didn't prepare for that day either. Well, I have 100 pieces to choose from. And so I do this, taking a bow when I walk on the stage. And who do I see but my mother, sitting there, in the third or fourth row, with a smile from here to here, saying, did I tell you, if you practice, you were going to be good? Did I tell you? Oh my gosh, I hate her. I hate her, I want to kill her. I swear to God, I want to hurt her. So I said, as an encore, I will play music box. And when I was turning around to the piano, I said, God, please help me to remember the notes. I don't even know if I remember the piece. And I did. And in any other occasion, my mother would have killed me, because I never, ever once disobeyed her, ever. But she didn't kill me, because it was a big party afterward, and at 11 o'clock, someone went outside to get the New York Times, the next day New York Times, and it was a review. It was very good, but what saved my life was the last line was, not only she played so very well the program, but she managed to do piece 101. And that 101 saved my life, because my mother couldn't make me anything, because the New York Times, so it was good. So let me make my mother happy wherever she is. And it's a 4 pages, very short little piece, dedicated to my mother. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If I lose my glasses, I will see. You know that when I was born, or since I was born to today, I have a different body. Because they have changed so many places 16 times that having no forehead, having no hip, having no leg, having no back, so I can't lose my glasses. So, thank you so much for helping me with this concert. It means a lot.